So far, the Nuclear Security Summit has already achieved quite a lot. For example, 15 countries became free of highly enriched uranium. It's one type of nuclear material that can be used directly in a nuclear bomb. There are almost 3,000 kilograms of highly enriched uranium was returned to donor states that sent it as nuclear fuel to other countries. And most importantly, nuclear security became an issue that is known and understood by many government officials, many bureaucracies. It became much easier to work on this important issue. Despite many accomplishments, there were also significant gaps in the Nuclear Security Summit so far. For example, military stocks, which constitute more than 80% of all nuclear material worldwide, were not properly addressed by the summit process. There was not enough progress on plutonium, unlike on highly enriched uranium. And the original goal of President Obama to secure vulnerable nuclear material in 4 years, unfortunately, has not been accomplished either. There is still a lot of work to be done. Unfortunately, the facts show that it's a very serious threat. Since about 1993, the International Atomic Energy Agency has recorded at least 2,700 cases of when nuclear and radiological material either went missing or was stolen. So we face a situation where we know that there are groups out there seeking material, and we know that this material is vulnerable to theft. So nuclear smuggling is actually a very, very serious and immediate threat. So far, all the known thefts of nuclear and radiological material were either carried out by insiders or with insider threats. So it's our weakest link. By insiders, we mean those who have authority to handle nuclear or radiological material or who have other access to it. Why it's our weakest link? Because these are the individuals who know how nuclear facilities work from within. They know all the weaknesses, they know all the security procedures, and it's easier for them to exploit those weaknesses should they decide to do so. No matter what kind of equipment, what kind of alarms you have, no matter how good your laws are, regulations and the procedures, in the end of the day, if people, the humans who are charged with responsibility to protect nuclear material, either do not take this responsibility seriously or purposefully neglect their responsibilities, then because nuclear power is not a panacea against all our problems that we're facing. It might be an important source of energy for some countries, but it's actually not that feasible or maybe economically not sustainable for many countries, because building nuclear power plants requires very significant investment, both politically and financially, and not every country is prepared for that, and not for every country in the world nuclear makes sense. One of the main reasons for China to be so keen on expansion of nuclear power is the expectation and the realization and preparation for economic growth, for growing demand for electricity. China is also very keen on developing nuclear technology for export, and it started exporting nuclear reactor technology to third countries. There is also an argument within China that for climate change reasons, in order to fight air pollution, that the reliance on coal should be, that they should at least try to reduce reliance on coal-powered plants. It's quite universal that countries do not like to be dependent on others, and they do not like to be dependent on just one source of energy production. For China, nuclear still constitutes a very small percentage. I think it's about 1% that nuclear is responsible for electricity production. Despite China producing its own oil, it's still an importer of oil, it's still an energy importer. So I think there is this sense in China that they need a very diversified energy matrix, and they should try to diminish their reliance on any external circumstances and factors, and kind of rely as much as they can on themselves rather than on anybody else.